I got rejected 7 times by medical institutions of South Africa before I could finally get into medical school. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you like, comment, and subscribe. So, today I'll be speaking about how I got rejected 7 times before I got into medical school. But before I explain the whole situation, please stay tuned up until the end when I tell you what finally got me into medical school. So, as you know, many of us have dreams of being professional somebodies. I wanted to become a doctor. So, I was told that you use your grade 11 marks to supplement your grade 12 marks, whatever you're going to get. And to be fair, my grade 11 marks weren't the best, but they also weren't horrible. And I was hoping to get into medical school. I was very naive with my approach to things, and I was very lackadaisical when it comes to applying for medical school. Little did I know that South Africa has one of the highest forms of application into health sciences as a whole. For instance, Medunsa, or the Medical School of South Africa, now known as Sefako Makgatho Health Sciences University, for the academic year of 2023 had over 7,000 applicants, but they could only accept 215. So just imagine, what are your chances? With me having mentioned the statistics, that doesn't mean that you can't get into medical school, but it would be ill advised for you to go there without having prepared for what may eventually come as a form of rejection. So back in high school, I thought I was this academic rock star because I was doing reasonably well. So when it was time to apply, first mistake is I submitted late. When I say late, I'm talking about a day before the closing date. Some of these institutions are very strict. Either they accept you or give you provisional acceptance even before the closing date of these things. So that was the first mistake which I made. Number two, I had 70 percentile marks for my grade 11, which I was going to supplement with my grade 12. But then because I had graded them so weakly, I just submitted them without wanting to improve them because I thought that that would be more than enough, but little did I know. Then the third mistake I made was I didn't apply to enough institutions. South Africa, unlike many other world countries, doesn't have as many medical institutions as we'd like them to. So I essentially had minused my chances of actually getting into medical school as a whole through my ignorance. I know it was very ignorant of me, but also another mistake which I made is while I was applying, there were a lot of missing forms from me. Either I submitted it late, or the due date was gone, or it was just unprepared. I made so many amateur mistakes. But as with all the mistakes one makes, they can all be corrected. So these are literally the 5 things to help you to get into medical school. Number one, obviously, is do your best academically. Because as I mentioned before, in Medunsa, there were so many applicants, and most of them either had 7 distinctions or 6, but then there were very high percentiles in general. So for you to increase your chances of being accepted, just get the best marks that you can possible. Also, secondly, very important, submit all of your things on time. Make sure that they're certified, there are no mistakes, there are no errors. Make sure you submit all of your things on time. The third one is please apply to as many institutions as you can because that increases your chances of being accepted. I know we all want to go to UCT, for instance. In as much as we'd like that to happen to all of us, realistically, it is not possible. So the more institutions that you apply to, the better your chances are of increasing into getting into medical school. The fourth one is please be organized. When I say please be organized, know when you're going to write your assessments, when early applications do happen, because that helps you with getting to see how far your application process is, as opposed to submitting the last minute and then you have to find out that before a certain period of time certain exams must be written, and it's a bit complicated. Then please make sure you ace your NBTs, which are essentially competency tests for maths and English to comprehend whether you are able to think outside of the box and what you've been taught you can conceptually apply. Please focus on them because they do count for a number of reasons. And one extra special thing which I said I will include, which got me into medical school. As I've mentioned before, the requirements for getting to medicine are very high APS score. So for you to be at an advantage, remember I said that there are a lot of applicants. Make sure that you are the best suited candidate. So for instance, instead of you just giving good marks, also make sure that you show that you do extracurricular activities, you've job shadowed, you've worked at a clinic. You can start doing those things. I'd advise you start doing those things earlier because that shows that you are more willing than the next person and you're not only just academically competent, but you're willing to go the extra mile into being accepted. So make sure that your CV looks amazing, and I promise you, you'll have an advantage over many other students. And remember, no matter how long it takes for your dream to come true, never ever give up on your dream. If you believe you're meant to be an amazing doctor, please don't give up.